What's up guys, it's Cody. Today I'm going to be telling you why I'm returning this Antelope Audio Zengo interface. So it's got two preamps, it's got two 1/4 inch jacks and high Z. It's also got two 1/4 inch jacks for your outs and two RCAs and then a SPDIF in and out and two headphone jacks on the front. You got the big gain knob and you got three little buttons on the front. You got the gain swap out between 1 and 2. And you got the headphone monitor buttons, swap out between the two headphone mixes and the monitor mix, and then a brightness control for the small screen here. It is a nice looking desktop, piece. It looks good, but the screen is difficult to see unless it is directly right in front of you, which is frustrating. Now, when you buy the Zengo, you're going to get 37 processing effects that come with it, which is super cool, although 22 of them are guitar amps, so boo. I think the most frustrating thing with this interface is that you have to download a launcher, the Antelope launcher, and then download the control panel or mixer for this interface. Now, which is cool because it gives you a lot of options for routing, although if you're new to this, it's going to be very confusing. You're going to be super lost and super frustrated. And even if you aren't new to this, it'll still give you a ton of problems. For some reason, the launcher seems to crash Pro Tools all the time for no reason. The next thing that's going to frustrate you is when you go and try and use any of these processing effects that come with it in your DAW on the track as a plugin. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to go to Antelope Audio and pay the extra $250 to be able to get that feature. It's cool, but it still had tons of problems for me. I went ahead and I bought the AFX Bridge plugin to use it inside my DAW, and when I went to go bounce out vocals and audio tracks that had the processing effects on there from the Antelope Audio interface, they just didn't appear in the mix. They just didn't get included. They played out of the monitors in the studio, but they didn't make it onto the bounce track. So I ended up just having to take that off and put my Fab Filter plugins on. So super frustrating being I just paid for that. Now, even after you go pay the $250 for the AFX Bridge plugin, you're going to go and try and use it, and it's not going to work. So I did some digging. I had to figure out, how do I get this thing to operate, right? Well, you're going to have to actually put your computer into recovery mode. Go inside the Apple and turn off some kernels and reduce the protection on the computer to be able to even download the license or the ability to actually use the AFX Bridge plugin. It sucked. Now, when I was recording with this, it's supposed to have super clean preamps, great conversion, and honestly, I thought it was horrible. It didn't seem to be able to handle audio very well. It either was very low going in or it just was, clipping super bad. It just couldn't find a smooth medium. It was incredibly weird and not something you would expect from a $550 interface. And I had the same problem on the outputs. I had to push my Yamahas all the way to the max. I had to turn them all the way to the max on the back of the speakers, and I had to turn the knob all the way up, and I still didn't have an optimum listening level. Using the control panel mixer, I just felt like it brought a lot of latency to my system overall, brought a lot of problems to Pro Tools, made plugins act funny. There was just a lot going on. I think there's some software bugs that need to be dealt with by Antelope Audio on this piece. So all in all, $550 and actually an extra $350 on top of that for the AFX plugin bridge and some other compressors. Not worth it. Almost $1,000. I tried to go the cheap route and not get the Apollo, but paid $1,000 for the Apollo. It is well worth it. This is getting returned. Don't buy this interface. Alright guys, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Until next time.